everyone. It's Charlie and I here from All Writers Welcome. Hi, Charlie. Say hi. And we are here to talk to you today. Hold on. Okay, we're here to talk to you today about the most effective way to market your books. Okay, so here's the thing about marketing, and we're kind of doing like some big picture stuff here a little bit. So the thing about marketing is that it's either going to take your time or it's going to take your money. Okay, so you see a lot of things where it's like, oh, you just pay for these newsletters, or you try to get on BookBub, or you have these things. Hi, Lori. You have all these things where you can pay money to go out on people's email lists, and that's, that's where you put your money in. It doesn't take you that much time to sign up for the email lists, but it does take your money. The other way of marketing is where you put your time in, but it doesn't cost you anything because you are putting your time in instead of your money. So either way, you're going to have to spend either time or money on marketing. That's just the reality. You can't have no money and no time and have effective marketing. It's just like anything else. You have to put something into it to get out what you want. So for talking about money, the way that you can spend money on marketing, there's pros and cons. Okay, so when you spend money on your marketing, what you're trying to do, your strategy is to get in front of a bunch of people and hopefully some of them will click on your thing, or some of them will decide to go to your website, or some of them will go read your blog, or some of them will, like that's what you're hoping. When you spend money, you're like, let me get in front of 100 people, and I hope that 15 of them will click on the item. And 15% is an incredible click-through rate on a marketing. So if like a pretty typical rate for click-throughs on marketing is probably around like 5%. So if you get 100 people who see your ad, they see the money that you've spent, or they see your newsletter that you've spent money on, the one that you're like paid to go out, maybe 5 to 10, 15%. If you have that many people click through from your ad and to your thing, and then another smaller portion of those will actually purchase. So that's kind of your strategy, is like to see how many people you can get on there, how many people you can get to see your thing, and then a small percentage of those will click through, and then a smaller percentage will actually purchase. And so once you figure out what your percentages are, you can be like, okay, I want to get this in front of 10,000 people. I know it costs me this much to do it. And then, so if I put this much in, I'll get such percentage of that will click through, and then another smaller percentage of that will purchase. And if you can do the math and have it work out so that you're getting more people purchasing than, more money from the purchases than you have spent, then you're good. So there's a little bit of strategy in there. Anyway, so the pros of, like, there's pros and cons, and the pros of spending money on your ads you can, there's something that you can narrow down your field of who you're connecting with. So like if you're doing advertisements on Facebook, you can choose to some extent who you want your ads to be in front of. So as writers, you're like, I want somebody who's interested in reading, and you can kind of narrow it down. So at least you're not going blank wall to everybody. Like that's what TV does, is just everybody sees the same ad. The other pro is that once you get a good ad, once you get a good one, and once you found like your right newsletter that you go with, you only have to do it one time, and you're good to go. Especially with the ads. With the newsletters, you have to keep going. You have to keep spending money. And then, and the other nice thing about spending money is that you can pay someone else to do it. You don't have to spend your time I mean, with all of these, you can pay a PR company. You know, you don't have to do the work if you have the money. You can pay someone else to do it for you. The cons of spending money for your marketing is that you are a stranger to the people who are seeing your stuff. Like, they don't know you and they don't know anything about you. So when they see an ad for your book or they see your book out on a newsletter, they don't have any kind of personal connection or reason to, you know, an emotional reason or a relationship reason to click on it. It's just like at the whim of whether they happen to be in the mood to click on it or whether you've gotten in front of the right audience. Another con is that your first interaction with the people that you're, you know, reaching out to is that you're selling something to them. So if you try to then build a relationship with that after that, you've already tried to sell something. And so there's a hump. There's like I already tried to sell to you, but now we're going to be friends. So there's that. The other con to spending money to market is that it costs money. It can cost a lot of money. And especially there's a learning curve. It's not just like you spend the money and it works immediately. There's a learning curve and it can be effective, but first you have to learn what is effective. So those are the cons about time or money. Now to get to the best, most effective kind of marketing. Oh, you guys are just saying all the kitties today. I'm a crazy cat lady, crazy cat lady. Okay. The best kind of marketing, the most effective, awesomest, bestest kind of marketing is the kind that takes your time, and it is word of mouth marketing. Okay. Thanks, Megan. Yes, a great point about the money marketing. The learning curve is, you forget about the learning curve. There's a learning curve, which you don't have to take too much advantage of if you pay a lot of money to somebody else who has already done that learning curve. But the best kind of marketing is word of mouth marketing. Word of mouth marketing is so much better. And that is the kind of marketing that you guys want to engage in with your audience. Okay. With your potential readers, with your customers, is you want to utilize word of mouth marketing. So what is word of mouth marketing? Word of mouth is when your book is recommended to someone else by one of their friends. Like, they start recommending book when people recommend your book, and then the other person is like, ooh. And why am I like going on and on about word of mouth marketing? Because 92% of consumers will believe something that is recommended to them by a friend. They will believe it. 92%. 92. Now that doesn't mean that 92% go convert and then buy the book. But still, like, that's like, they're like, oh yeah, I've heard good things about that. 92% of people will be like, yeah, my friend told me that was great. So you can see on social media where you can have a bunch of friends, how that would be really good. And there's all these contexts for making friends and recommending things, right? So that's the first really awesome thing about word of mouth and spending time instead of money on your marketing. The other thing is that you really get to know your readers. Like, that's a real benefit, is to get to know your readers, because you're like friends with them. You're friendly with them. And then the benefit of that is that as their friend, when you recommend your book to them, they're going to read it. The other thing is, the third pro of this, putting your time into your marketing and establishing this kind of word of mouth thing, is that it's cheap. It's cheap. It doesn't have to cost any money at all. Facebook is free, people. Thank you, Facebook. Yay! So you can utilize word of mouth marketing really easily and cheaply using Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all these other social media platforms. Social media, the social part is the relationship and friendship building, and the media is the marketing. That's the word of mouth. Word of mouth. Okay. The cons of putting your time into your marketing instead of your money is that it does take time. it's time consuming. It can be time consuming. You have to be consistent and do your marketing every day. It's not something you can just hand off to someone else to take care of for you. Now, there are tips and tricks and strategies for saving time when you're marketing so that you're being the most effective kind of word of mouth generating marketing. But yeah, that's the con of word of mouth, and the time investment is the time that it takes. Now, if you enjoy what you're doing, and that's the key. Now, can you enjoy this kind of social marketing? Well, that is something that we talk about in the All Writers Welcome Academy. And this is the kind of marketing that you can feel really good about because it's about relationship building. It's not about taking advantage of people. So I want you to go ahead and take some action. Reach out. Now, the kind of marketing that we talk about most here in the Academy and most here in All Writers Welcome is this time invested marketing, this kind where you're investing in relationships instead of investing your money. So you're investing your time instead of your money. And there's a few reasons for that. One, it's the most effective. Two, it's cheaper. And a lot of you guys are just starting out. And three, it's effective in the short term and in the long term. Like it's just the best kind of marketing. Plus it feels good. It doesn't feel salesy. It doesn't feel shifty or shady. It's easier to engage in on a emotional and mental level because it's like, hey, I'm building relationships with people and I'm offering them something that they want. So this is the kind of marketing we talk about most in the Academy. And this is the kind of marketing that we utilize in the Write, Market, and Publish Your Book in 4 months masterclass training. Is this kind of relationship building, word of mouth, and white hat feels good being yourself online with folks marketing. So if you are interested in finding out more about how that would work actually, or if you're interested in finding out more about our Write, Market, and Publish Your Book in 4 months kind of masterclass, we actually have that masterclass available for free. We have the training available for free. It's at allwriterswelcome.com/book. And that's where you can sign up to receive the masterclass and that training, and where it utilizes these word of mouth, time invested, relationship building marketing skills, but not in the abstract, in the very, like, this is how you do it. Okay. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Yeah, the training actually goes through week by week how you can write, market, and publish your book in 4 months. And that training is at allwriterswelcome.com/book. So that's where you can get that training for, where you can sign up to get that training. The other thing is, if you want to see our Facebook Lives and you want to be notified about them in advance and get some writing tips and tricks straight into your email box, you can sign up to our newsletter. We let you know when we're going live. So that is at allwriterswelcome.com/newsletter. And then we'll let you know. We will let you know. But to recap, you guys, you're either going to invest your time or you're going to invest your money. There's pros and cons to each, but the time investment utilizes the word of mouth marketing, which is the most effective way to market your books, is word of mouth, because people believe their friends, people believe trusted peers, people believe people they know. And so if you get that's why a book recommendation from a friend is so much more effective than just an ad that pops up. So go ahead, and the action that I'm going to ask you to take is to do that for someone else. Be that recommender for someone else. Take a book that you've really liked and go ahead and recommend it in the All Writers Welcome group here. Say, I really recommend this book. Do a little mini review and be the person who is giving the recommendation and see how effective it can be. Okay? Thank you all so very, very much. I hope this has been helpful, and I will see you later. Hugs from me and happy writing.